So My Hero Academia is solely responsible for making anime so mainstream these days? What's going on, everybody? You're watching the channel Dr. Applesauce. My name's Will. It's another beautiful day here in Texas. I hope you guys know that I love you, God loves you, and he has a wonderful plan for your life. So I found this crazy tweet the other day that's been circling around the interwebs, and let me just read it to you here real quick verbatim, okay? So we got Justin right here, and Justin says, My Hero Academia made anime mainstream, and I refuse to let y'all revise history like it didn't. Crunchyroll owes My Hero Academia everything. And for what it's worth, the little comment that's pinned at the bottom of this screenshot that says Akira Toriyama just spat on your forehead from heaven and Jesus is okay with it, I find to be particularly hilarious. But this tweet has caused a lot of discussion online and really made me sit and think about it and think, no, My Hero Academia did not cause anime to be mainstream. Mainstream anime isn't popular because of My Hero Academia. The animes that made anime popular was Dragon Ball Z. You know, Dragon Ball Z released it back in like 1989. And then we had Yu Yu Hakusho, and we had a bunch of these older OG old school anime, and that's what really caused anime to become popular. And when I really took the time to look at it, I was like, okay, wait. Yes, Dragon Ball Z and these other old school anime is what caused anime to be popular. Okay, for me personally, the first anime I ever saw, first experience ever with anime was Akira. Akira was my first foray into anime, and it is always going to be a classic. It is always going to be a tour de force as far as anime and the anime community is concerned. But obviously, when you see something like this that is as crazy as a statement on the surface of saying My Hero Academia caused anime to become mainstream, you obviously think, no. You think of Dragon Ball Z, you think of these other shows that are super old school. You think Dragon Ball Z, the popularity of Dragon Ball Z led to the popularity of the big three, Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece, and then those kind of propelled anime to become what it is today, and Dragon Ball Z and Bleach and Naruto and One Piece walked so shows like My Hero Academia and Demon Slayer could run. And when you really look at that, you think obviously this stuff is what's responsible. But if you take a second look, there was a shift in the anime community that just so happened to be around 2015, 2017, where anime got so widely popular that athletes were talking about watching anime, that celebrities were talking about watching anime, and somewhere in that time, it stopped being weird to enjoy anime and almost became popular. And I sit back and I think about it and I remember, wait, around 2016, something happened and it stopped being weird to like anime. I started seeing a lot more younger kids running around wearing Naruto shirts, Dragon Ball Z shirts, and a lot of My Hero Academia shirts. Well, what came out in 2016? My Hero Academia. So let's go on a journey for a couple minutes, guys. Let's check out what happened with My Hero Academia, when it came out, what was going on around that time frame, to see, did My Hero Academia actually contribute to anime becoming mainstream? And by mainstream, I don't mean popular. I'm not talking about the fan base that anime's had forever. I'm talking about launching into something that everybody loved, that everybody watches anime now, that was something that was acceptable in school, where kids weren't getting made fun of, that was very, very generally accepted, and anime is just mainstream. Did My Hero Academia help with that? I want you guys to drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Before we get into the details and explaining everything, what do you think? Did My Hero Academia help anime become mainstream, or did it not? I want to know your comments down below. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love My Hero Academia. It gets a lot of hate for different reasons, and I whatever. You got to think about, My Hero Academia came out in 2016, okay? My Hero Academia came out in 2016. Now, while My Hero Academia has all of these traditional shonen archetypes that we are used to, that we're like, oh yeah, just another great, dope shonen anime. We've got an unpowered character who's gaining some powers, and he's working really, really hard. We got this really cool society where everybody has superpowers. Everybody's a superhero, all this cool stuff's going on, and then we have some, friendship bonds, and we have, Bakugo, Deku and Bakugo are rivals. We've got all these things that we're used to in anime, but that's also stuff that people who don't watch anime, if this is the first one that they see, they can really identify with and be like, oh, that's cool. Oh, I can identify with that. I like that. Because you know what My Hero Academia is really, really, really similar to? Superheroes. Traditional comic book style superheroes, and there was some stuff going on in America that really lends to that, but we'll get to that in a second. So first and foremost, we say that My Hero Academia came out in 2016, right? So if this is something that people who don't really watch anime or hadn't really watched a lot of anime get the opportunity to see, what else is coming out in 2016? Well, how can we figure out what came out in 2016? If somebody is like, oh, hey, we're gonna watch My Hero Academia, the first season of My Hero Academia was only like 12 episodes, and then they're like, oh, this was great. Well, this is what anime is like. What else is out there for me? Obviously, we had, the shows like Naruto and Dragon Ball Z and all One Piece and all the classics that were still ongoing. But what new anime was coming out in 2016? Well, we can easily head over to my anime list just to see what was coming out in 2016. And if we look at winter of 2016, there was actually a few really notable anime that came out in winter of 2016. So Erased was really great and really popular. And then Ajin, you see Ajin right there. Ajin was actually a sleeper. I don't know how many people watched Ajin. It had a ton of CGI, which I wasn't a fan of, but Ajin was actually really cool and a great anime that came out in 2016. And something very interesting about Ajin, if you see right there, it says that it was available on Netflix, not Crunchyroll. Ajin was one of the first Netflix exclusive anime, and this is another piece of that puzzle because a lot of people were watching Netflix that didn't necessarily have a Crunchyroll subscription and weren't necessarily watching Crunchyroll, and so you get shows like Ajin popping up and they're like, oh, what is this? If we go over to spring of 2016, that is when My Hero Academia came out. Spring of 2016, April 3rd, My Hero Academia came out on Crunchyroll and Funimation for people to watch. Now, what else was coming out? There's some heavy hitters that came out in spring of 2016. We also had the first season of Re:Zero come out in 2016. Very popular. Really well done anime. That's another thing that was right there for people to watch after My Hero Academia. It would have been right there on the suggested for you after somebody watched My Hero Academia on Crunchyroll. Additionally, we had season 1 of Bungo Stray Dogs that came out. I just started watching this. I've never watched it. I just started watching it, and it is a really good. Then we also had season 4 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Wildly popular anime. It's not my jam. I'm not a huge JoJo fan, but people absolutely love it. And season 4 came out, so that would have been another thing that would have been recommended to people who were watching My Hero Academia, as well as the Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress, a really cool anime about like zombie vampire type. Very great. Came out spring of 2016. So we see when My Hero Academia came out in spring of 2016, there was actually several really good shows that came out at the same time. And you might be looking at this being like, dude, that's nothing compared to what's coming out these days. Yeah, because anime is mainstream now and we're getting 15 new animes every quarter that are all great. It didn't used to be like that. So to see that really, 5 really popular, really good shows came out at the same time is actually pretty impressive. Now, if we go look at summer of 2016, there's also an incredible one that came out, Mob Psycho Season 1. Hugely popular anime, incredibly popular anime came out. Mob Psycho Season 1 is very great and really loved and a fantastic anime. And then not to mention Food Wars Season 2 came out. Yeah, if you've watched Food Wars, you know what I'm talking about. It's hilarious, and yeah, just let me know down in the comments below if you've watched Food Wars. So if we look at the 2016 lineup, okay, so if somebody's new to anime and they're watching My Hero Academia, these are all shows that are incredibly popular that would have been recommended to them. So there's plenty of stuff there that would cause somebody who, this is anime, My Hero Academia anime, this is actually kind of cool. I've never watched anything like this before. Oh man, there was only 12 episodes. Well, what else is there? There's these other shows. Re:Zero's free. Ajin. Ajin's on Netflix. I wonder what other anime is going to be on Netflix. Lots of stuff there for new fans to sink their teeth in. And then as well as there's always Naruto, there's always Dragon Ball Z, there's always One Piece, there's always these other old school shows that are there and available. So when My Hero Academia came out, there was a lot of other stuff that was coming out at the same time that's incredibly popular now that people that were new anime fans could have been exposed to as well. Now I want to get to the crux of my argument and what I think this guy Justin was actually kind of right. He didn't say it right, but I understand the point that he's getting at. My Hero Academia is responsible for making anime mainstream. And I don't think it's entirely responsible, but I think My Hero Academia was a really perfect catalyst that took anime from being something that was stigmatized almost to something that was very popular that everybody loved. Right in that 2016-2017 window is when that shift happened. And I don't think it's a coincidence that My Hero Academia came out right then. And why is My Hero Academia to get so much much credit for this? Well, we got to look at what was going on in America right then that was super, super popular, okay? What was happening in America right around 2016 that was taking the film industry by storm? We had just entered phase 3 of the MCU in America. The Marvel Cinematic Universe was just getting into phase 3, and it was rocking and rolling, and superheroes were on everybody's minds, and we're getting these amazing cinematic masterpiece superhero movies from the MCU. In 2016, Captain America Civil War and Doctor Strange came out, and right before that we had Avengers Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy was insane. So we see we're right in the heyday of the MCU, where comic book movies, comic book stories, the love of superheroes is really taking America and the, Western, countries by storm. So as this is all ramped up and everybody's already all jacked up and excited for superheroes, My Hero Academia comes out. My Hero Academia, a show that's about superheroes that is literally modeled to kind of resemble the golden age of comic books in Japanese manga form, in anime form, comes out right in this heyday, and it has all of these archetypes and all of these themes that people love in superhero stories. Friendship, overcoming adversity, tons of superpowers, tons of diversity of superpowers. There's so many different characters and superpowers that there's kind of somebody for really anybody to connect with and identify with. We have these overpowered characters and underpowered characters and these beautiful relationships that are happening. And My Hero Academia released at the perfect time, right in the Western countries and civilization, when the superhero MCU fandom craziness was at its peak and at its hype. And it entered right at that time. And so, America and countries like us were primed to see something like that. You have all these people that don't really watch anime but love the superheroes and love comic books and are thoroughly enjoying all of the MCU releases. And then here comes My Hero Academia, and people get recommended and they see maybe an episode here or there or clips, and they watch it and they're hooked because it reminds them of the comic book stories that they grew up with and they loved. And they watch all 12 episodes and they can't get enough of it, and they're like, there's only 12 episodes. Is this what anime is like? Is this what everybody's talking about? Kids who used to wear Dragon Ball Z shirts in high school and get made fun of, is this what they love? Let me see. I watched this on Crunchyroll. Let me see what else is there to watch. And then they see these other shows and they start to experiment. And the next thing you know, you have athletes and superstars and famous people on TV talking about they love to watch Naruto. They love to watch My Hero Academia. You see kids going to school with anime backpacks all the time, way more than used to be. You see kids in grade school with My Hero Academia, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, all kinds of anime gear and merch. And then, next thing you know, anime starts to become mainstream in the West. Anime goes from being something that's borderline stigmatized and made fun of to everybody watches anime. Everybody loves anime. Everybody knows who My Hero Academia is. They might not know who Yu Yu Hakusho is, or what Trigun is, or what Death Note is, or what Ranma 1/2 is, but they know what My Hero Academia is. And now we have Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen and all of these new shows that are coming out that are fantastic and really catering to this new audience. And we have anime being mainstream, and it's wonderful. So yes, we owe the popularity and the birth and just anime being what it is to the greats like Akira Toriyama and Dragon Ball Z that released in like 1989, and shows like Yu Yu Hakusho that paved the way for the big three, for Naruto and Bleach and One Piece to shine. Yes, with that, the reason anime is here today is because of that. But if we really take a cold hard look at it and we see when My Hero Academia released, we see what was going on culturally and in the entertainment industry in the West when My Hero Academia released, and what else was coming out around that time as far as anime is concerned, as a ton of people who never watched or experienced anime started watching My Hero Academia. And we realized that right around that 2016, 2017 point is when there was a cultural shift in the anime community, and so many new people started flooding in. It's really easy to look at it and say, you know what? Maybe My Hero Academia is responsible for making anime mainstream. Not anime popular, not putting anime on the map, but taking anime from something to where a lot of people who really knew how wonderful it was loved it, and creating something that was a segue for all these people who never gave anime a chance to look at it and be like, yo, that's pretty dope. That's a cool show. what else is there? So did My Hero Academia help make anime mainstream? I think so. Guys, let me know down in the comments below what you think. Do you think My Hero Academia helped make anime mainstream? I'd love to know your comments down in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. It's free for you to do that, and it helps so much. And you can subscribe and hit that notification button, and YouTube will tell you when new videos come out. I want to know what you guys think. I love anime. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments below. Let's just be nice about it. And if you enjoyed this video, YouTube says you'll like that one a lot too. So go check it out. And like I always say, my friends, find somebody to love and serve today. Be the change you want to see in the world. See you next time.